Hello! Today we are making eggplant parmesan. Alright, so first we're going to boil up some of our pasta. Now I got a pot of boiling water here, and today we're going to be using some whole grain penne, but in traditional eggplant parmesan it is accompanied with like either spaghetti or angel hair pasta, but you can use whatever you got on hand. And we're going to cook this according to package, so it's about 9 to 10 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of salt just to season up the pasta. Make sure you stir your pasta around right when you drop it in, just to make sure nothing sticks. And just let it go for the scheduled time. As we wait for our pasta to boil up, let's go ahead and cut up our veggies. So today we're going to cut up some garlic. Take a couple cloves, maybe just about 2 cloves. And this is going to enhance our tomato sauce. Go ahead, take a couple cloves, do a little smashy smash, a little peely peel. Also, shout out to Elijah for my awesome Christmas present. Check this out, guys. Handmade and crafted straight from Japan. This is a terrible way to hold a knife. It's very sharp. Okay, next up, we're gonna chop up some onion. And I just got a little onion left over that was in my fridge. So it's about like a quarter of an onion. So we're gonna go ahead and chop that up. Now we are using a pre-made jarred tomato sauce, but I like to zhuzh it up with some onion and garlic just to amp up the flavor. But again, if you don't have onions or garlic, you can just use the pre-made jar stuff. That's totally fine. I'm gonna go ahead and do just some small dices. All right, and now the star of our show today, our eggplant. Now we got this beautiful eggplant from our local farmer's market, and it's gorgeous. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut her up. Just slice off the top and slice off a little bit of the butt. If you want to cut it down this way and make circles, we can do that. If you want to cut it down this way and make longer eggplant parmesan, we can do that as well. Let's see, Elijah, would you like it in circles or would you like it in a long situation?
Circles.
Great, we'll make circles today. So we're gonna go ahead and cut right down this way. And for today's eggplant parmesan, we're gonna do about half an inch. A little less than half an inch if you like a thinner eggplant parmesan. Okay, we got all of our eggplant sliced up. Gorgeous. All right, now that our eggplant's all sliced up, we're gonna clean up our station a little bit and get our breading on. All right, so now let's make our breading station. For our first plate, we're gonna put some all-purpose flour and just a few tablespoons. We want enough to do a light coating onto our eggplant. To our flour, we're gonna go ahead and add some salt, good amount, because we wanna make sure our eggplant is nice and flavored. So add salt into there and some black pepper. Go ahead and mix that all together. In our second plate, we're just gonna go ahead and crack 2 eggs. So 1 and 2. And then just go ahead and whisk that up. And the eggs are gonna be what's gonna bind our eggplant to our panko breadcrumb mixture. And for our last plate, it's just gonna go in some Japanese panko. Now you can use breadcrumbs, Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, homemade breadcrumbs, whatever you like. I just happen to like panko. I like the crispiness of panko, and this gives it a slightly lighter feel as opposed to breadcrumbs. But again, whatever you got on hand, whatever you like. To our panko, I'm gonna zhuzh it up a little bit with some Italian seasoning. All right, we're ready to dredge. so we're gonna go ahead and take our eggplant, pop it onto the flour, lightly dredge it, tap off any excess, pop it in the egg, really quick, 1-2 flip, drip off any excess egg, and then right into our panko. Make sure everything is nice and coated with that panko, really press that in, and then onto our plate. Now there's definitely a method to not getting your fingers all crazy by doing the one hand dry, one hand wet method. Let's say your right hand does all the dry ingredients and your left hand does the egg mixture to keep it, you know, separate. But every time I try that, it still gets messy anyways. So I just deal with it and just get my fingers all nice and gloopy. It's fine. Okay, got our last 2 pieces of eggplant here. Get it nice and coated. Perfect. So now that everything's breaded, we're gonna go ahead and clean up a little bit and work on our sauce. Okay, so for our sauce, we're gonna go ahead and take our pot or pan, whatever you got, do a nice little medium-high situation, drop in some extra virgin olive oil, get that to coat the bottom, and drop in our onions right into our pot. Go ahead and give that a toss. Tiny bit of salt, tiny bit of black pepper, small pinch or so of red chili flakes. Go ahead and stir that around. Get our onions starting to cook a little, get a little translucent. Allow the red chili flakes to start releasing some of its flavor in the oil. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and add in our garlic. Stir that around just for about 15 seconds. Garlic tends to burn very easily, so you do want to stir it and make sure that it's in with the onions to help give it that moisture so it won't burn as easily. Okay, it's been a few seconds for our garlic to incorporate with our onions. Now, I like to zhuzh up my tomato red sauce with some red wine, whatever you got on hand. And we are going to allow the red wine to reduce by about half. It's going to allow us to cook out that raw alcohol flavor and just keep that nice, deep, rich red wine flavor. Okay, if you can see inside the pot here, our wine has reduced by about half. It's got a little thick. When you pull your spatula through, it kind of parts the sea a little bit. It's gotten a little thick, which we like. Now's a good time is to add in our jarred tomato sauce. Now, a little trick I like to do to pop these open is with the corner of the lid, go ahead and just tap it along the side of your counter. And that's gonna go ahead and easily loosen it up for you. And stir that into our wine, onions and garlic. And any tomato sauce you want to use is good for this. We're doing a little bit of a healthier situation today, so we have our no sugar added Prego. But the usual Prego I like to use would be the chunky one. I like having that little extra bits of tomato in there. But of course, you can always use this. Add in some fresh tomatoes. Make your own tomato sauce with some crushed tomatoes. Whatever you like. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pop a lid, turn it down to about medium-low, let it simmer for a couple minutes. Our sauce has been simmering away. We're gonna go ahead and do a little taste, see if it needs anything. For me, I'm gonna go a little extra pepper and a tad more red chili flakes. Right in there. We're gonna go ahead and turn off the heat on our tomato sauce and just let it chill there. while we work on frying up some eggplant. So in a big pan, we're gonna go ahead and warm that up. We're gonna add in a good amount of extra virgin olive oil into our pan. Okay, once everything is nice and warm, go ahead and take our eggplant, carefully place right into the pan. Okay, and we're just gonna let it go until it's nice and golden brown on one side, and then we'll go ahead and flip. Nice golden brown on one side, get it nice and golden brown on the other side. And to our eggplant, we're gonna go ahead and top off with some mozzarella cheese. Now I got this at the deli section. I asked the counter to just give me some nice thin slices of mozzarella. However, if you want to use fresh mozzarella, that would be delicious on here. Whatever you want to use. As the other side is browning, it's going to allow us to melt our cheese as well. Okay, we're going to kill the heat. Go ahead and place our eggplant off our pan. I wiped my pan a little bit and added some more oil. Go ahead and let that go. Again, a couple minutes. Turn it, add some cheese, let it brown up. Okay, in goes our final batch of eggplant. All right, now that our eggplant is all fried, we're gonna go ahead and fix up our plate. So in our clean pan, I just went ahead and wiped it with a little bit of paper towel and water. I'm gonna add in a few spoonfuls of our tomato sauce. Our pan is still nice and hot. Woo! Just to warm our sauce through. And to our sauce, we're gonna add some of our pasta. Now, if you're making it for a crowd, you can go ahead and just add in all your pasta to your sauce. But since we're only making it for the two of us, and there's gonna be a lot of leftover, I like to keep my sauce and my pasta separate in the fridge so it doesn't get soggy whenever I need to reheat it later. Okay, our pasta is nice and warmed through. Go ahead, kill the heat, and we're gonna plate up. So let's get a good spoonful of our pasta right into our plate. Nice pieces of our eggplant parm. Let's get a nice cheesy one on there. Whoa, the cheese are all stuck together. And here we have our eggplant parmesan. Thanks for joining us. Now get out of my kitchen.